We used to be farmers, and we're retired now, and I've taken up the art of rug cooking.
Okay. So when you say that used to be farmers, what exactly did you farm?
We did pick your own produce farming.
Okay.
Went from strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, sweet corn, right through until the pumpkins at the end of the season.
Okay. And when exactly did you become involved in your craft?
I started rug cooking in 2001. I fell in love with it immediately. It was an art that I felt that I could use. I am basically a graphic designer by trade and an artist by birth. And I've always been searching for something that I can use that's a different media than just painting or the regular art drawing or whatever people do for. I wanted to do something different. I've been interested in the textiles. I've done quilting, sewing, knitting, crochet, you name it, needlework, cross stitch. I've done it all. And when I found rug cooking, that was what I wanted to do for my art medium.
Okay, so rug hooking is comparable to anything that you've ever worked with?
Well, it looks similar to a tapestry. It also looks like needlepoint. I've done needlepoint. And it's a much smaller motion as you're rug hooking. Instead of pulling the needle up and down and up and down. Do you want me to show you how?
Yeah, that'd be great.
You have a hook that's a crochet hook in a wooden handle. You have strips of fabric that are cut by a machine. They can also be cut by scissors, by hand, or with a rotary cutter. You hold on to it with your left hand and you have the hook in your right hand.
And if you're left-handed, it's the reverse?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And you're basically pulling loops through a backing. Now, this backing is linen. In the beginning, people used to use burlap, potato sacks, and they used to use old clothing that was worn out or that they didn't need anymore. And they would use them, of course, for rugs on the floors and for warmth. Rug cooking started basically with the Vikings, and the Vikings, as sailors, wouldn't be fishing or sailing in the wintertime. They would be at home, and they actually did a lot of rug cooking. And they used the finished product for counterpanes or blankets on their beds and for rugs on the floor. This art then went from them, and it traveled through northern Europe and into England. And they took this a step farther. A lot of the people in England worked in woolen mills where they were actually weaving wool. And the ends of the wool where they tie it on to the looms are called thrums. And they would be allowed to take these thrums home and use them for their rugs at home. So that's where rug cooking basically got started. It traveled across the ocean when they went to the eastern states and the eastern provinces. And the pioneers used to use old clothing, burlap sacks, potato sacks for weaving their work into. And the colors weren't as bright as they are now. They were more dull. They tried to get color in with natural dyes, but the dyes just sort of faded very quickly. So in order to have a rug look nice, I'll show you this. The other side is about the same as the front side. They look the same back and front. So what they would do is put the rug on the floor, back side up throughout the week, and turn it over to front side on Sundays when the minister or somebody special came for dinner. And they were then called Sunday rugs because they would use them on the wrong side during the week, and then the right side where it was nice bright colors.
Oh, okay.
Top.
That's interesting.
It was an art that for poor people, you know, they just used it on the floor because they needed warmth on the floor.
Okay.
And that's where it came from. And it extended into being an art form when people like Pearl McGowan, who is from the United States, she started doing this fine cut and bright colors in the early 1900s, and then it came from floor mats to pieces of art that you hang on the walls.
Okay, wow, that's a very rich history from something that people that didn't have too much money to something so beautiful like this.